when they're going through this process. They can open their mouth without drowning, but they must come up to the surface of the water so they can throw the meat back into the mouth and they can swallow it. It'd be nice if we came out to bask. I think it's getting a little bit cool now for him to do that. Okay, just for those people who are joining us, we're at Buffalo's Hook Dam with this awesome crocodile, and again we didn't think we'd be seeing crocodile here since there was one that moved out from Gowrie Dam.
I'm going to lose him behind this bush.
We were able to catch up with him.
Cool, thank you. He looks like he's in the class.
Okay, we have another question coming through. Alright, thank you very much, Janina, for your question. You're just asking, will crocodiles try and find mates, or are they loners? Well, at Entebbe we also only had one crocodile and didn't seem to be too bothered about moving, but they're very long-lived and it does take them quite a long time to mature. I'm just trying to remember how old they are now before they mature. I think it's somewhere around 15 if I can remember rightly. I forget now though, unless Jared, if he's there, he can just help re-jog my memory. But as I say, it's very... They can be solitary, or they may go and find a mate once the call of nature is too much for them. We think that this crocodile maybe moved in while we had those very heavy rains, and that's possibly what enabled him to move between the areas. But I think if the call of nature gets too much, then it'll move on. Again, if the food availability is not too great, then it'll probably also move on as well. Maybe even move into Gowrie Dam. It's fairly close by. But he probably will stay put for a few days, see how he goes. Maybe that's why I moved in the first place, looking for the crocodile. Looking very sinister anyway.
Look at that, yeah. Perfect, actually.
Any stations interested? There's one corner at Buffalo's Hook Dam. Affirmative. Okay, we've got another question coming through. Okay, thank you very much, Richard, for your question. You're just asking how far crocodiles can travel, and do they travel on land much? And yes, they can do. And they're very fast on land. They'll outrun a human. So you don't want to try and outrun a crocodile. Hence why I'm not volunteering to go out and I was trying to see where he was earlier. There's no way I'm walking down to the water's edge when there's a crocodile there. But yeah, as I say, it really does depend on obviously the call of the wild for food and obviously for mates as well. But I would say they can cover quite large distances if they really have to. But obviously, yes, they can outrun humans, but they're not really geared for killing anything really on land. They have to drag it into water, as far as I know. So I think they would actually struggle to eat on land. But yeah, as I say, I think they could cover quite considerable distances if they really have to. But I'm not sure exactly how far they could cover. But I would say a few kilometers at least, because obviously they move between dams. We don't know where he came from, so it could be a dam that's maybe 10 kilometers away from here. I'm not too sure where the Buffels Hook Dam is, or I think it's the big dam they're talking about on the radio at the moment. It could be they came from there, or he came from there, or she. I'm not too sure if it's a he or she. But yeah, as I say, they can move very easily on land as well as in the water. And I think that's why they haven't changed their body, or it's evolved, because it really is the head of its game. So it's not really had to evolve much over the millions of years that it's been around on the Earth.